That was Drew Johnson from The Gethard Show in episode 2. I'm so excited. Hi, welcome to the Daily Neitz, a daily look at classic films, modern cinema, and occasionally a Netflix original TV series. Today, I'm talking about the latter, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt Season 2. Now, when the show came out last year, I was kind of intrigued. I was like, oh, I like Ellie Kemper. She was great in The Office, and Jane Krakowski was great in 30 Rock, and I might give it a look. And then Cody got home from work one day and was like, hey, I watched Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and you should watch this. And we sat down and watched the first episode, and I was like, this is pretty funny. And then we watched the whole season over the course of a couple weeks while eating dinner. And it was good. It was fun and charming. And then season 2 came out last weekend, and I was like, alright, let's watch the first 2 episodes. I'll do it for the channel. It'll be great. And so I watched the first 2 episodes, and just like season 1, it is a great show to watch while you're eating dinner. It's not the highest praise, but it's not the best show. But it's very good. The comedy is wonderfully written. Hilarious jokes. Crazy characters in all the good ways. And situations are quirky and original. It's not like any other real show. I mean, what other show is there where your main character hasn't seen the light of day in 15 years? I like that. That is a great start. The only place where it falls flat for me is that there's no straight man. Every character is just balls crazy, and there's no, at least none of the main characters are just kind of normal. Well, what is normal anyway? But your average, like, standard human being. There's no straight man, and that's not a pun on Titus Andromagon. That's the comedy term. So while these jokes are funny and they're well-written jokes, they could probably hit a little bit harder and with a little bit more punch if the person hearing the joke or the victim of the punchline or what have you is a more serious, down-to-earth, not as crazy character. That's my only real complaint with the show. The writing is spectacular. It actually reminds me a little bit of Arrested Development, the first 3 seasons, with how dense the comedy is. I actually watched the first episode twice, and there were jokes in the beginning of the episode that I didn't laugh at because I didn't realize they were jokes, but on the second watch, I'm like, that makes more sense now. And I can tell that first scene of the first episode, when you watch the whole season and go back, there's probably layers upon layers of jokes in there, and I love that. I love that rewatchability, and I do appreciate that a lot. And also the serious moments, the charming moments, the romantic moments, the adorable moments, they all hit very well as well, because the characters are so crazy. When they do something cute, like for example at the end of the first episode, when the landlady whose name I'm forgetting and her boyfriend whose name I'm forgetting, I know it's been a couple days since I actually watched it, they're sitting in the middle of the roller rink and he's playing a song on the ukulele and they're singing, and they're not great singers and they have like no real history, but the moment is so charming and adorable. And even the scene at the Amtrak station, which the joke about Amtrak is fantastic, that scene in the station is romantic and adorable, and it's so cool to see these crazy characters calm down and do something sweet. And because they're so crazy, those moments hit very, very well. Greatly appreciate it. I will watch the whole season because why wouldn't I? It's great, and it's a nice way to kill 20 minutes, half hour while eating dinner. Just enjoy, like, you can distract yourself and you're not going to get lost because the plot's pretty simple. It's just a great show, great time. I just realized how loud that air conditioner probably is, but that's fine. That's all I got for you for today. Not sure what I'm watching tomorrow yet. I haven't quite decided. I'm probably gonna hit the old Netflix and see what Netflix suggests for me. Excuse me. But until tomorrow, like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Daily Neitz. And leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me your favorite Netflix original series that isn't Daredevil, because that's everybody's, or House of Cards. Tell me your favorite one that I haven't seen. But until tomorrow, bye. Now, I know in the opening I usually say that this is about classic films, modern films, and professional wrestling. but I try not to talk about professional wrestling unless it's the whole video is on that, because I understand it's not for everybody, but I have to today. I'm taping this on Thursday, April the 21st, and I found out this morning that China has passed away. And then a few hours later, Prince. I'd never been a huge Prince fan. I know probably a few of his songs maybe, but not really. And I really only know him as Punchlines, like the artist formerly known as Prince, and the Animaniacs fingerprints joke. But I was never really listened to his music, never really followed his career. I know of his influence, and he is a great loss to the musical world, but as a wrestling fan, Chyna's passing it's heartbreaking. Just a few weeks ago at WrestleMania, they finished the Divas Revolution storyline, and they officially changed the name of the division from the Divas division to the Women's division. And they've stopped treating the women like an attraction or a gimmick, and they started treating them like real wrestlers and real people with real storylines. And they made this huge step forward. And that kind of step forward for women in wrestling has only happened a few times in the WWE, and one of those times was the debut of Chyna. It happened at In Your House Final Four in February of 1997, and I know this because I just happened to watch that pay-per-view tonight. And at that time in the WWF, there were no women wrestlers. There were 3 main women that appeared in general. Sunny was the attractive manager of numerous tag teams. Sable was the attractive manager of Mark Marrow, and Marlena was the attractive manager / wife of Goldust. And then Chyna comes in, and her first appearance is appearing out of the audience, reaching over the guardrail, and choking out Marlena. And that is something that women hadn't done in wrestling since maybe like Alundra Blaze was wrestling a few years prior, but that kind of brutality, and she was such a different person, and she broke all the boundaries. Sorry, my nose is a little runny right now. She's the first woman to compete in a Royal Rumble, and she's the first woman to hold the Intercontinental title, which is not a woman's title. And she broke these boundaries and pioneered women in wrestling to the point that we are now. Granted, it's the PG era. Men and women are not going to get in the ring together, and that's fine, at least in WWE. But there are matches on the indies, and they've done them at TNA and whatnot, where it is women and men. And in fact, a few weeks ago, this is a major Lucha Underground spoiler for next year. If you watch and don't want to get spoiled, plug your ears for 5 seconds. Last week, Sexy Star won Aztec Warfare 3 and became the first female Lucha Underground champion. That wouldn't have happened if Chyna didn't come in '97 and make the impact that she made. So the whole women's wrestling landscape is, as it currently is, a lot of that can be attested to her, and it is a great loss for the wrestling world. And I do sincerely hope they add her into the Hall of Fame in the next year or two. She deserves it more than any other woman that has retired from wrestling at this point. And is not already in the hall. So I just wanted to say that. I feel like today was the appropriate day too. It's going to be a few days since I talked about wrestling on this thing, and I need to get that off my chest. My thoughts and prayers go out with the families of friends and families of Chyna and of Prince. It's a tough day for music and wrestling. That's all I got. Have a good night.